Kaos Classic is an elite, invitational-only strongman competition that allows the athletes who are competing at the top level in the weight class divisions to have the spotlight specifically on them. The max axle was a little terrifying for a moment because we hadn't done any axle cleans in over 2 months in training because I have this bicep injury that I've been dealing with. I had no idea how much I was going to be able to clean on an axle. Dealing with this bicep injury is just taking axle cleans completely out of the picture, so we were only doing rack presses. Thankfully, I was able to PR, 3 times in just one max effort event. One of the really cool things about the Kaos Classic competition is that they have a limited number of athletes. It's anywhere between 20 to 30 who are directly invited, and in our case we only had about, I think, 18 actually show up in person. Well, when you have that few athletes, it changes the dynamic of the event entirely. It might only take 30 to maybe 50 minutes to run through an entire event, even if it is a max effort lift. Given that this was an incredibly heavy show, it was hard to go from one incredibly heavy event to another incredibly heavy event. Just really tackles you a little bit differently. Without a doubt, the Yoke was the most intimidating event for me. 2 weeks earlier, I had thrown out my back running a 900-pound yoke. The pain that I went through was excruciating at that time, but I really thought that it would be my best interest to just give it a go. And so I did.
Is up and moving. Andrew as well. Andrew took the small lead to start with. Victor probably slightly ahead. Andrew drops on his way up. Victor gets in one more. Andrew is back up and moving. He needs to complete this in this run.
So, though the Yoke was a successful run for me and I didn't have any back pain after that event, I think, just sort of going through all of these really posterior demanding type of events, it really did start to flare up my back. So after event 4, it just became obvious, like something's wrong. And that event was the Sandbag carry and drag medley. The hard part about that challenge was getting grip on the flooring to actually pull that sled. The floor, the turf itself, gave nothing to the athlete's grip, and so that was really frustrating.
Pretty good. Everything's been a PR. The last one for me, the deadlift, I don't know, the weight was 310
Today,
kilos on the
290.
bar. 290?
290.
290, I doubled. That's a PR, by far. The axle, 3 PRs. But I'm still not even top 5. That's how big of a difference it is when you have all the top level competitors at a show like this and it's this heavy.
Then I went and talked with the masseuse there and had them work on my back a little bit, and they were able to relax me for the next event, which was the farmer's run, which was 330 pounds per hand. I was never, in training, I was never able to get up to that amount for even a quarter of that distance. To be able to walk in and not drop those farmers once and finish the event with a really good time was super. So yeah, it was super physical. And the farmers run, though I had an amazing run on it, that event spiked my back so bad to the point where, you know, my back was in so much pain. I was just on the table crying, and they were trying to redirect my focus so that way I'm not focused on the pain as the masseuse is trying to get in and just release my back. And you can tell my back was just knotted up and twisted. I thought at that point, there's no way I can go out and do the last event. Unfortunately, they were calling my name and it was already time for me to go again. The last event is a Sandbag Load, a Sandbag Load race. And it's an event that I'm traditionally really good at. The moment that I walked out there, I can feel the sparks in my low back, in my glute medial. I can feel it. And I put my hands down to ready on the bag, and the moment the whistle went, it was just gone. Everything was gone. And there was just 23 or 24 seconds of silence. Completed the back run with an incredibly fast time. I think I was second overall with that time. Can't believe somebody actually beat me. But I was able to finish the back race, and I'm one of the few who was able to actually finish it. Well, I went up to my competitor who was going next to me, and Lee was going. And it was the only event we got to go head-to-head on. And I remember just watching him going for this final bag. And the moment that I sort of realized, like, oh, I'm done with my load, you know, as I'm watching Lee, then all of that pain came firing back again. And then I sort of stumbled away over to the floor to lay down. All that pain came right back.
Until I ran over to Lee where I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah. You used that last bit of energy on that.
It's amazing what the human body can do, and that's one of the reasons I love this sport so much, is at the end of a day like that, where you are just trashed, you're able to push past limits, you know, redefine what your own will and level of drive is to be. That is a treat. That is a gift from the sport that we have to find and acknowledge ourselves.
And it wasn't a very hard decision, I won't lie. We discussed it, we said one name, so congratulations for the first ever Sportsmanship Award at the Kaos Classic, Andrew Hanus. How many injuries are you carrying right now?
Injuries?
2. And yet he is still smiling. Congratulations, thank you for everything.